Hi guys, and welcome back. Now, I get a lot of questions on exactly what different parts of the body are doing, and I notice that a lot of people really struggle with what should my left leg be doing throughout the swing. We've been told to really bump our hips forward. Well, I see a lot of people really overdoing that, and the right side of the body starts kind of crashing down into the ground. We start to get a lot of chunks behind the ball. Our left hip starts to hurt a little bit. I get also other people that are asking about rotation. You know, I keep on sliding forward, but instead of my hips rotating open through contact, I tend to do this motion where I get early extension. And I'm gonna go over the left leg in crazy detail. I'm gonna go from address to the top of the swing, starting down, follow through. I'm gonna go over the entire thing and talk about exactly how the left leg should work and basically cover all these different areas. Now, this would be a great video for golf instructors that maybe want to get a little bit better understanding of exactly how it should be moving, or if you have a trouble with a student that's not opening up, if you have a trouble with a student that's bumping too far forward and getting some hip pain, this would be perfect for that. This isn't necessarily a video that's going to say, hey, this is just an overview, a quick easy video on the left leg. This is going to be really detailed to talk about what's happening. So not necessarily for everybody, but it's going to give a lot of detail. So let's go ahead and start it out. At address, what's going to be happening here is if my spine was straight up and down, basically my legs would be even, everything would be nice and even, like if I'm standing straight up and down. Well, as I set up to this golf ball, my right arm is on the club lower than my left, and my hips are going to kind of bump forward. So my left leg is going to be bumped a little bit forward at address, and my upper body is going to be tilted slightly away at address. This is what we call the stable fluid spine. We're talking about the top speed golf system. Now, as we go to the top of the swing, what's going to happen is now my right foot is going to push into the ground and push this hip back to rotate, and my left hip is going to start to rotate this way. Now, what's happening there is as my right foot pushes out, that pushes my right hip back. As my left foot pushes, kind of pulls, almost like I'm scraping my foot this way on the ground. That's what it's going to feel like. That's going to go ahead and allow me to rotate to the top. So you'll see my left hip is starting to rotate kind of forward around in a circle. My left foot is kind of pushing back this way to allow me to rotate that way. So whatever way you press into the ground, there's going to be an equal and opposite that happens with the hip or with your body. So I'm pressing kind of down and out, which is allowing me to rotate in the backswing. You may not feel this a lot. You may feel mostly the right leg rotating your body, and that's fine. So at this point, I'm actually taking some weight off my left leg. You'll notice how I also get a little bit of external rotation. So this is external rotation. This is internal rotation of my femur, my upper leg. As I'm going to the top, I'm letting my left leg kind of externally rotate, so it's kind of staying in line with the left side of my body. So you may feel like your leg's almost rotating out. Feel a little bit of pressure here in your hip. Now, as I start down, the very first thing I'm going to do is begin to shift weight back over to my left side. The same time this is happening, my upper leg, my femur, is going to start to rotate out. So we can see as I start to rotate open now, my femur, the bone that's in my upper leg, is pointing out this way. The reason I need to do this is so that as I push into the ground with my left leg later in the swing, that clears my hip out of the way. A lot of times what I see people do that are taught to bump hard to the left, they're taught to really shift hard, they'll get to the top of the swing, and then the first move down, instead of being this, is going to be more of this motion. So now they're bumping the hips. My upper leg, my femur is pointing in that direction, and if I try to push, I really can't rotate. That's when you're going to see something that looks like this at contact, rather than letting that rotate out and seeing more of that at contact where the hips rotate open as you're coming on through there. So if you're standing up out of your posture, usually what's happening there is as you start down, your left leg's doing more of this, and then you just stand up out of posture. So it's kind of like that early extension, as a lot of people call it, rather than my upper leg rotating out. Now when I push into the ground, I can clear out of the way. So if you're looking at it from this angle, I'm gonna go over the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the top of the swing. As I start down, now my hip is coming back, this is rotated out a little bit, and from there, as I push into the ground, that's gonna clear this out of the way, so I'm staying in my posture as I come through into the swing. That's going to fully extend as I come into what we call the straight line release out in front. So as I go through the golf ball, bam, there's contact, still a little bit of bend. I'm pushing down into the ground with my left leg, opening my hips, and then I'm going to be straight with my left leg as I get to the straight line release. That's going to be the point that I fully rotate my hips open. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and come all the way on around, just letting my hips pivot. And you're going to see now my foot is really rotated in. My hips are facing basically toward the target out in that direction. I'm standing straight up and down. So again, let's go from this way. There's my first move down. I'm pushing this out of the way. My leg fully straightens when I'm in the straight line release, or mostly straightens. I don't want to have it locked or anything like that. And as I come on around, I'm letting everything rotate all the way on through. So that's the entire leg motion with the left leg, specifically with the upper left leg, where I see people have a little bit of trouble. So if we can do that properly, it's going to help us to rotate really well, get those good, crisp, clean golf shots, and we're going to get that nice finish position where we keep the hips and everything moving and rotating on through the shot. Let's go ahead and try that out. There we go. Got all the way on through the shot, good full finish. Work on that left leg, guys. Good luck to you. I'll see y'all soon. Hi guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got a great bonus for you. I'm gonna play a preview from one of my #1 lag videos. Are you struggling to get a lot of lag in the downswing? We know how important that is. We gotta get lag, we gotta release that lag to really let that club whip through contact. I'm gonna play a preview from one of the best lag drills out there that I have. I'm gonna show you how players like Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott all use this in their own swing. It's gonna help you to hit it a lot farther, pick up some great speed. If you wanna watch that video, go ahead and click the link that pops up in your screen. If you're on a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, go ahead and click the iCard, which is going to allow you to get instant access to that. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below. Click that thumbs up button, that really helps us out. And be sure to subscribe, that way you'll see our latest videos. Good luck, and I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then